Welcome into this edition of the Volin Out podcast. I'm your host, Jordan, here with the newest member of the Volin Out trifecta, Billy Ratliff. How you doing tonight, brother?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Hey, I'm just glad to be part of this show, and I'm ready to have some fun.
Heck yeah, man! As always, man, it's great to have you back with us, and we're glad we're going to have you through football, and looking forward. But man, tonight we got some baseball to talk about. We're going to talk about the SEC tournament briefly because I think everybody doesn't knows what happened there. We're going to talk about the regionals and super regionals for the baseball team, preview the Men's College World Series. We got some other Vol related news too. So you ready to go around the horn, buddy?
Let's get it.
Let's get it. So, man, that SEC tournament, buddy, Vols got off to a sluggish start in that one, buddy. Just I think we kind of felt sorry for Vandy. Gave him one early. What do you think?
Well, I mean, the Vols still put on a show, man. I wasn't worried. I thought that we played opponents level, and we forgot where we came from, and we got a little sluggish, and I think we got comfortable.
Yeah.
And I think once, we lost that game, I think it really helped us to recalculate, reconfigure what we while we were there. And I think when we lost that game, it woke up a true monster.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Also, I want to shout out Tony V on this because he sort of mixed up his rotation a little bit and started, his midweek guys there to begin with. Mm-hmm. So he had his aces for later on in the weekend, and it paid off tremendously. So that was that's what good coaching does, man. It don't matter the sport, don't matter the level. Coaching matters. But Vandy, they took one from us. We let them feel good about themselves for a little while. Thursday night rolls around, decided to play a little ball, beat the Aggies 7-4. Did you watch that Miss State game, man? It got a little testy there for a hot second, didn't it?
I watched a little bit of it and I just turned it off, man. I mean, it's hard for me to watch other schools, man. I'm so stuck with the Vols now, man, because we got so many teams that are winning. I don't have time to watch nobody else, but it was interesting though.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we had Miss State on Friday. Mm-hmm. There was some jawing back and forth. I don't know what started it. I don't think anybody really does, but there was some jawing back and forth. Christian Moore and the Miss State bench, and it ended up being some sort of, I don't know. They never really went into detail about it. I'm just like, well, Miss State's gonna hold 2 L's tonight.
Yeah, I still didn't find out what it was. I mean, I'm quite sure I can. Maybe I can get that on the next episode.
All right, that'd be cool. But I kind of always like to say this: Miss State let that bulldog mouth overload that puppy dog ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So they got that one 6-5. Went on to the semis. We took care of Vandy. I think, like I say, I almost think it was like Tony V was kind of like, that what's the insurance commercial where he's like, oh, you almost had it. I think it was one of those type deals.
He was just
dangled the carrot in front of the horse, and he was like, nope, just kidding. So it's always good to pull one on Vandy. Always. Because they just suck.
Man,
don't matter sport.
I still tell people how lucky we are to have Coach, man.
Dude, I'll tell you what, man. I hope Texas don't come calling for him. That's going to be one. I don't think they will. I think we'll go in the pocketbook for him, but man.
I think we may have found, the next stage of a legendary coach. And it's hard to become a legendary coach if you jumping ship all the time.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, there's only been one that I can think, recently that he did that, and it happened out good when that was Coach Saban.
That's true.
And everywhere he went, he was a winner. But baseball is not that easy to do that, though. And I think he's finally found a a stable of a pipeline of recruiting as well. And oh, that's a whole nother story right there. Gosh.
Dude, he's tearing it up, but he's doing it all right now. Like,
Yes.
I mean, just call him X-Lax. He's making shit happen, brother.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it would be hard to say no to him right now as a recruit.
right.
That's every
So
position.
that's true. That's true. And I mean, like, he develops his guys too. I mean, this team last year's team on paper was supposed to be better than this year's team.
And they
A
were.
lot. They were, but this team, like, he has developed this team to the point to where I mean, really and truly, who is going to beat them?
It's gonna be tough, man. I mean, it's gonna be tough to outscore them.
Yes.
Their bats are so hot right now. I mean, it doesn't matter who comes up to the plate. They're hitting the ball, man. I mean, I don't think I've seen a team like this in forever.
No, man. Like, it's crazy. That baseball might as well look like a watermelon right now out there. Like, it's ridiculous. They don't miss. They don't miss.
And I love the fact that they're backing it up too, because ESPN is hating it right now.
We're going to talk about that in a bit. I can promise you that, because I picked up on that the other night too. So let's breeze through the rest of this SEC tourney. Man, we got the SEC regular season championship, got the tournament championship over LSU, beat them 4-3. When we done that, ended up with the national the top national seed, the number 1 seed. So now we're into the regional, man. Came out hot against Northern Kentucky, beat them 9-3.
Well, a lot of talk was on Kentucky winning the SEC.
Right.
We wasn't supposed to be where we at right now based off what we had coming back this season. A lot of people had already written this team off, and I kind of compared the way everybody wrote our team off in '98 when Peyton them left. I kind of feel like it's the exact same way that they're going right now in '98, where every sport was seceding at UT. We win everything, and now it's doing the same thing. Everybody's winning again, and I hope it ends the exact same way.
Right. So what you're saying is, and I know you've seen it, hashtag feels like 98.
Feels like 98, baby.
Oh man, I hope it is, dude. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be a lot of people that's not going to be able to stand me. I mean, I ain't even going to say it. I don't even care. They ain't going to be able to stand me. So we get into the regional game 1. Vols came out hot again, man. Kind of like you said, buddy. Those bats have stayed hot. They beat Northern Kentucky 9-3 on Friday. Then Saturday rolls around. Indiana was supposed to be pretty decent going into the season, and throughout the season they were. But man, they were a gritty bunch. But took them down 12-6 off of 13 hits. 13.
Dude. When you can get a run rule, that makes it even better. Now you got extra rest now. Tell me this. I mean, there's something I didn't understand.
That's a fact, man.
How the run rule works. Does that work in the series too? Or it's just, let's say we go up 20-0.
Okay, so in the tournament, there's no run rule. You can beat somebody 150-5 if you want to.
God.
It don't matter.
Oh gosh, it may get ugly.
Does not matter. Yeah. Well, okay. So because I thought the same thing there for a little while, and then I looked and I was like, man, Florida State beat UConn 24-4, and I'm like, no. Like they did. Like run rule, mercy rule. Somebody throw in it's like that meme. Throw in the damn towel. Like. No, there was no throwing of any towel in that game. Like it was straight up, just put them over their knee and it was done. So who knows? Who knows what we might see? We might see us put 50 runs on somebody.
I hope so. I mean, especially since it's Florida State, I typically don't say this about schools, but I don't like Florida State, man. I don't like nothing about Florida State.
Hey,
I used
hey,
I used to love, Oregon, Charlie Ward, Derrick Brooks. I don't like them no more.
right. Don't like them no more. We don't need none of those Florida State criminals up in here. That's funny. But we got then okay, so we beat Indiana, and then Saturday rolls around. Man, Southern Miss was pretty scrappy there for 2 or 3, 4 innings or so, and then dude, we just we unloaded on them. It got ugly quick.
Oh, because I mean, what was it like 3-1 or something like that, and then the bats just got hot.
They actually led that game. Southern Miss did 3-2, and
Okay,
then next thing you know,
that's right.
they're into the bullpen, and we're just can of corn ripping it, just going yard every other pitch, and it's just like, good Lord. So that's what you got to have this time of year, man.
Well, I mean, it is dog eat dog world right now. I mean, at that time, everybody's trying to win to get into the game. So, all the best come out, and every player is playing, all pro in a sense.
That's true. That's true. And man, I'll tell you what, dude. Some of these guys, man. Amick, Christian Moore. Amick's got. I don't care what anybody says. Amick's got the best walk-up song in the country. Hey, everybody.
I think I agree with you there. Okay, yeah.
Everybody, have you heard? I was standing in my living room Sunday. I was like, just all about it. So, and then, dude, and then Inslee, and then, dude, just it don't matter but what we're getting at here is it don't matter who it comes from, where it comes from, when it comes. Anybody from that 1 to 9 slot can absolutely take it over the wall anytime they want to.
And that's
I don't
what
think there's many teams in the country that can say that.
Nobody, man. I don't think nobody, man. And I'm trying to go back in history of baseball teams that were putting up these kind of runs or had that many consistent hitters on one team.
Yeah. It's hard to find, man. It's hard to find. And the thing about this baseball team is they can win playing long ball. They can win playing small ball. If they need to, leave some ducks on the pond and, get a single or a double here and there to drive in a run or two, they can do it. They showed that the other night in game 2 of the Super Regional. Almost came back and got that one.
Almost.
So, yeah. But
I actually thought we was gonna come back, how we did all last year.
Yeah.
Like it was always they always was on the edge, and they'll come back and grand slam and win the game. I'm like, oh, we about to do it again. We're about to do it again.
I thought it too.
And
I thought it too.
Like, oh.
Dude, that I'll tell you what, that Super Regional draw was not an easy one. Evansville was tough. They were tough, especially through 2 games. They gave us all we wanted.
See, people don't realize how good of a coach those guys have.
Yeah.
And those kids gave their all, man. You're talking about they didn't quit.
No.
They
had no quit.
Like it was losing by 6, 7 runs. They played like it was 2-3.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, these guys are not going away.
Absolutely.
And the game they beat us, I'm like, okay, yeah, they're okay. We're gonna get this. We got this. And I just remember going back outside, and I'm just gonna cut the grass real quick and see if something changed. I come back. Oh my God, they're up by how many?
Right? Like, okay, so like game 1, man, it was a barn burner. I had to catch the replay on that one. Had to work that day. When I caught it, Vols were up 8-5 through 6. I'm like, okay, we're cool, But it never really felt like it was a comfortable 8-5 lead. They would. Evansville was great hitting with 2 outs all series.
And we
But
just couldn't
man,
get that last out.
Yeah, I mean they made you earn everything you got, no questions asked. Then Kirby comes in with the best mustache in the game, and gives us a great 7th inning. I mean, 3 up, 3 down, no questions asked. Put him out. Emmett comes in, goes yard. Inslee and then Inslee, man, gave us the insurance we needed to finish that one off 11-6. So that's what you got to have this time of year, man. And all it takes is 1 inning, period.
The way college baseball has been this year, you're right. 1 inning changes everything. Typically in baseball, it's typically, you may score a run. These guys are scoring 5, 6 runs in innings now.
Yes, man.
So you can never count anybody out now.
No, you can't. But now I want to give Evansville credit on that game too, man. It was never close. That one was never close. I mean, they had a fight, like you were saying, they were up 5-1. And, I was kind of like you, though. I was like, they'll get it going. We'll get it going. And when we do, there's going to be hell to pay. No, there was nothing to pay. Nothing to pay except the Pied Piper on that one. Just it never got close until the last couple of innings. Kind of got something going in the 8th. The 9th inning, though, dude, we're sitting there watching it, and we're like, yeah, here we go. It's time to go. And they finished us off, man, with good pitching, honestly. I mean, they gave up 8 runs to us, but they scored 10. Pitching had great run support. It's hard to beat anybody that scores 10 runs. It just is.
It is hard. But I still had faith, man. I was like, oh, the bases are loaded.
Yes. Yes.
Like, here we go. It feels like last year we got a chance and we're going to get it. And then the pop-up.
Yep.
I was like, let's just get a base hit.
Just something, And like you say, that pop-up come and you're just like, oh, well, maybe he'll drop it. Just what do you get? What else can you do? But man, they gave us all we wanted in that second game. But
they most definitely I can't say anything bad about that team, man. They played their hearts out. They gave it all they had to win that game.
They did. And I mean, and hats off to their coaches too, because I mean, a lot of times you get into that situation and you're coaching, you're thinking, okay, I've got this lead. I got to protect it. He was still coaching to win the game. There was not, we're going to play to not lose. We're playing to win.
Yes, they did. I mean,
he
give it to
comes around second base and he's waving him through just like an airplane.
Yes.
Just like, go, full send.
And I have to give it to the pitcher, man. I mean, he was not rattled at all.
No.
I thought with the bases being loaded like that, I thought he would throw a lame duck and we could just get it and grand slam. But no, he was on point.
He was. It was like kind of like that old saying, you got to sit on a red hot stove and pee ice water. That's exactly what he was doing, buddy. I mean, didn't even bat an eyelash. So game 3, though, that's a different story. I mean, as soon as we step up to the plate, son.
Well, I'll tell you this. I actually kind of called this game how it's actually going to go down. And it actually would have been a good day to actually do a live show because I had so many fans on Facebook that was saying, well, it's the Tennessee thing they do. They're going to just do what they always do. I'm like, come on, guys. How are you going to get on that lane train like that? And all of a sudden, when we have been whooping butt all this time, that was one game, guys. I mean, they won the game. They didn't want to lose. They wanted to win too. But I said, hey, I'd be surprised if Evansville scored this game.
Yeah, buddy, you barely missed it. Like barely.
We put on a show and we took care of business. We went out there like it was a business trip and we handled those guys. And of course, I mean, I still was like, we got them. But then the delay.
Oh,
I was like, come on, there ain't no way we gonna get it. Really?
it's like you guys are gonna make us wait one more day to open up this can of whoopus.
Oh man. But we kept it together. We kept it together.
We did. I'll tell you right now, though, man, that storm came through here after it came down through there, and buddy, it was a turd floater. It was a doozy, doozy.
It was rough here too, man.
But man, I mean, dude, you cannot ask to start a game any better than we started that game. Back-to-back dingers. I mean, you can't ask for it. And Xander, dude, I'm glad the kid kept his hat on this game. I'm not gonna lie. I was getting a little aggravated with him in that Southern Miss game. I'm like, man, either wear your damn hat or take it off. Just do what you got to do, you know. But he pitched a phenomenal game.
Yes.
But you mentioned it earlier. I picked up on it watching the game. Did it seem to you like those two announcers were just dying for Evansville to win that game?
I don't know what it is about the sports media, but they have some type of animosity toward Tennessee.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what network it is, they always, they're never all positive.
No.
They're gonna just, throw a little bit in there.
Oh yeah.
But we are the number one team in the country. But you're talking to like Evansville is the number one team in the country.
Oh, dude, they were. I mean, anytime Evansville did anything, they're like, he looked crossways and it was great. Just like, give us a break, like, don't give us a break because you know just as well as I do, our fan base is like, well, we're here for it. I know I am. I love it.
Oh, I'm the same way, man. Like that's why I'm so different with the media. Like, no, I'd rather do this than to go ESPN.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. It's just like, but it kills me, man, because it doesn't matter what the sport is. It's it could be basketball, football, baseball, underwater basket weaving, and they're calling it, just like, no, we cannot have them win, and it's just like, no, we're going to.
I just want to know who, what did it to these networks to make them not like the Volunteers.
I'm not even going to lie to you. I think it's us. I think it's the Vol fans.
But
that's okay. That's okay. We don't care.
I love it, but I don't think it's that, man, because there's some fan base out there, man, that are just yeah. I'll give you one right now that because they're about to lose their mind these next few years. You already know which one that is.
I can't wait.
Bama.
Yes.
Oh man, yeah. They act like it's impossible for them to lose anything.
Oh yeah, and especially if they lose it fair and square. No, that's impossible.
I'm like, and just like I remember when we last season when Tennessee we beat Alabama here. And we cheated. You need to tell me that because y'all lose, somebody cheat. But if y'all win and we lose, it's fair and square. My gosh, y'all have it so messed up. And then they try to blame, well, y'all cheated last year. That's why we cheated this year. What? Come on now.
Yeah, no.
So you just admitted that they cheated.
I'm telling you right now, man, they'd argue with a tree. It don't matter. Like, I heard everything from The goalposts weren't regulation size. That's why we dumped them in the river. We paid off the refs, of course. It's just like, no, we beat you. We beat you. If you guys would have won, what's your excuse for it being close? My favorite.
But when when the fan base admitted that, oh man, the refs really got y'all. That's how we won that game last year. So now you really believe that they were that much better that year, that half? No,
right? No. Dude, I'm telling you right now, with that fan base, the jokes write themselves. Legit.
I can imagine.
Oh, you just wait. Football season, that third Saturday in October week's going to be real fun on Balling Out. I promise you. Promise. So, but man, okay. So, baseball wise, long and short of it, man, dude, we put Evansville to bed quick and painlessly. Like 13-1, we go out of there, and watching those first two games, and watching the back end of this one, this game right here did not reflect how well Evansville played for 3 games. I mean, it really didn't. They just ran out of guys in the bullpen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in this time of the year, you got to have a great bullpen, man. You got to at least have one good reliever to help out, because you cannot expect to win by 1 run now. You can't. You can't. Any given day, somebody can put up 3-4 runs in an inning now.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, you got to have insurance. You got to have an insurance policy somewhere. But so now, man, I haven't really looked much into Florida State. I know that they've kind of gotten hot here in the tournament a little bit. I mean, blistered UConn 24-4, but that's who we've drawn in the Men's College World Series. So on to the next one,
Well, I mean, Florida State will come in with a great game plan.
Of course.
I still don't see them winning this game, man. I think it's going to be closer than I think. But I want us. We got to go out and smash these guys. We can't win a close game. We got to keep the bats hot.
So this is what I'm gonna bounce off of you here. Let's say we get it done. I don't necessarily think we'll have to play them again, but even if we do, instead of feels like 98, hashtag just like 98.
It does, man. You talk about. I just remember in 98, man. You're talking about, you had the football team, you had the basketball team, the Lady Vols, you had even baseball was doing good at the time. Softball, track and field, swimming, volleyball. And I remember this because I was supporting them. I was out there
right,
all the stuff, and it is the exact same way right now.
Yeah.
All of the sports are very successful this year. I didn't realize it until somebody posted that we're the top team in the country with the most wins collectively out of all the sports.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Dude, I mean, what a time to be alive, considering where we were 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Or for not even 10 years ago, 3 years ago, let's say. Yeah. I mean, considering what this school has been through, how many football coaches, basketball coaches, it's crazy, man. But it's all, I'll tell you this, the worst day as a Tennessee Volunteer is better than the best day as a part of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yes.
Yes.
Those days are gone, man. That's the domination of that program it's getting ready to change.
It is.
I know they're going to still be okay in basketball or whatever. I mean, but you got a new football coach. Everybody, he's going to win this year. He's going to do okay this year because they still have a lot of the guys from Nick's team there.
Yeah.
The recruiting is not the same when Nick is
No.
not in the game.
That's it, buddy. With Nick, I'll give him credit though. I loved listening to the man rant. His rants about that triple option offense cracked me up. He was like, "How do you know the young guys are going to get to play?" I guarantee you know which one I'm talking about. Where he's like, "And they ran through us like through a tin horn, man." If you don't, I'll send it to you. It's hilarious.
Really, I got to see that.
I'll send it to you. But you know, we've said it before, man. I don't want to be the guy after Nick because he set the bar insanely high. I mean, those people are down there using their food stamps to put oatmeal cream pies at the bottom of that man's statue.
Hey, Nick had it made, man. I was surprised he retired at this time, and of course, I mean, the excuses that people was giving while he retired. I truly don't think he retired because of the NIL situation or whatever. I think he's talking about the NIL that way because it's going to continue to make him money on the side.
Oh yeah. Well,
It's,
that,
yes.
and I will say this. I remember when NIL first started really being talked about. And I've got a couple of my buddies. They're rival school fans. I've got Florida fans as friends, Georgia fans, whatever. I told them, I said, I know what kind of money Tennessee has. I don't know, but I know Tennessee has that kind of money backing them. This is going to be a game changer for Tennessee. And honestly, over time, that's the one school Nick Saban never wanted to see be good.
Exactly.
Because life wasn't going to be near as easy down there in Tuscaloosa.
Well, we're back.
That's it, buddy. And they can't stand it. I love it. Love it. They're gonna really hate me this year if we win. When we win, not if, when.
Well, as you can see, I'm starting to wear my gear again, man. I haven't really flexed any of my Tennessee stuff. I haven't even went over and got even my care packages, man. Like that's how bad it's been, man. I mean, we were.
Hey, dude, I'll tell you what, man. With old Cornbread Pruitt, I swore Tennessee gear off. I was like, I'll wear it. I'll wear what I got. I'm not buying no more until we're better. And I hate to be that way, man, because I've always, no matter what, been all vol, whatever. But with Pruitt, I could not put money into something that I knew we were not going to get any return off of. Could not do it.
Well, it was a turnoff for me because of where he came from.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm like, wow, we got to go get the enemy. The enemy. I mean, what does he bring to the table?
That was what surprised me with Phil going there. Like, I was like, no.
Well, I'll tell you why Phil went there.
Okay.
Phil went there because he had to go get someone that was at a winning tradition.
Sure.
So he had to bring somebody from a program like that to get the fans kind of like, okay, well, at least we got a winning coach.
Right. Right.
So, hey, he's bringing that superb defense here.
Yes.
Now all he has to do is get this and that, and Coach Foreman knew what he was doing, man. He
Sure.
did that. He did that on purpose. Now, I think if he had the time to actually dissect it and realize finding a coach that's going to be here for the next 10 years.
Right.
I think that he was more of I almost want to call it the Lane Kiffin in a sense, to get the morale back up.
Sure.
Get the fan base talking and get the world talking again about the program.
Right. Well, like to your point, I mean, at the time, a lot of people were talking about Pruitt.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he was, and when I brought that up, because I know Phil's your coach, I love Phil. I'm not degrading that that man in any sense of the word. I love Phil. Phil has some of like your teams. Phil, some of my best childhood memories come from that. I'm like you though. I think he went after the hot name and the hot coordinator at the time,
Yes.
and it just didn't pan out.
And at that time, to be honest with you, I mean, Tennessee was so unstable where
Yes,
we couldn't just get who we wanted.
we
You
had
know,
to get who wanted to
it was
come.
almost like a who wanted to come here. We had to just settle.
Right.
You know, you had all these people are like, they disrespected us. You
Yeah.
know, they act like our program wasn't a brand.
Right.
I'm like, our program still is the top money making program in the country, even though we wasn't winning.
Right. It was
No,
up there, man.
no one looked at that like that. But I found that out back right when I was finishing up school and I had to do an intern with financial stuff, and my intern was with Mike Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God, I learned a lot of stuff that I didn't know was going on behind the scenes, man. I'm like,
Oh,
wow, you got to do all of what? Wow.
right.
I didn't realize they raised that kind of money, man, to be able to make that program operate. I didn't know that. Like they have a set number they have to make before it even starts.
Wow.
Like I didn't know that the money that they're raising is, they're raising money to pay for our scholarships.
Right.
I didn't know that. I didn't know none of that stuff. I mean, I'm like, wow, really? Y'all had to raise money to make sure you pay for your scholarships. I thought you already had the money.
You're like, I
No,
didn't know I was being financed.
it's a lot more to it than what we see, man. And
Absolutely.
you're talking about him. I mean, you athletic director that I don't think he ever got a fair shot. I think when you have somebody have you by the balls
Yeah.
and you can't truly make your own decisions, but you're always the scapegoat if things go bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the quarterback is always going to get the fault because they lose.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it was tough on him, man, and we finally got a AD that understand the business.
Yeah.
You know, he got that swag where he can probably go up and say, "Hey, I don't care, fire me."
Right. I'll go get whatever job I want. Go ahead.
Exactly. So it's going to be hard to get rid of him. I mean, especially what he's doing right now.
Yeah. I mean, Danny White, dude, since he's been here, proofs in the pudding, as they like to say. It's all right there for everybody to see.
And if the Lady Vols,
Oh, dude, I'll tell you what, if Lady Vols get back to where they used to be, buddy, Danny White's worth his weight in gold.
well, here I'm gonna tell you what it's gonna be like. This is what it's gonna be like, and remember me telling you this now. You remember what Kirby Smart inherited from Mark Rich?
That's true. Yes, sir.
Kelly Jolly didn't have that bad of a class, man. She had a lot of good kids over there, man. I mean, look at her draft stats.
Yeah, that's true, man. I mean, Ricky Jackson. I mean, it's there. It's all there. It's all there.
She has a chance to go over there and basically teach something that these kids have never had.
Mm-hmm.
And the part that I've heard that they're pretty much missing is that old school discipline.
Yeah,
I don't care about your feelings. We're here to win ball games.
that's it. I ain't here to make friends. We're here to win.
And if she can bring that to the table, Lady Vols will be back quick.
real quick. Yeah, I'm with you there for sure. It's gonna be a fun year on the hill this year, dude, for sure.
Oh
Just
man, Boston
man, I
is
mean, so speaking of though, we do have some other Vol stuff to touch on. Uh, you being a defensive guy, James Pierce Jr. named a lot impact award watch list. I don't think there's going to be any watch for that. Honestly, he's going to win it.
Pierce gonna be the good man. I mean, he's gonna be good. I mean, and I'll continue to say this: if our defensive tackles do half better than they did last year, and that's just keeping their lane, just pushing the pocket a little bit more. Oh my God, this defense can be nice, man. It's because they're gonna have to spy him all year because he's a good kid, man. He's going to be a first rounder.
He's going to do what James Pierce Jr. does, and it's going to
Yes.
be fun. I'm with you on that. I think the defense will be quite a bit better this year, especially on the back end. Can't get no worse.
Oh, you said it perfect right there. You said it perfect right there. There's that. We got a lot to improve. I still put all of this on the defensive tackle shoulders this year.
Hey, I mean, we got Big O back.
We got both that. We got all our DTs back.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to see what we can do. And like we said, like we've talked about before, the run defense was not the problem last year. The pass rush was there, except when we faced an elite offensive line.
and
So
and Jordan, I'm serious. If you go back and watch the games that we actually lost, there was only one game that we actually got dominated last year.
mhm.
And of course, gosh, I don't even know how I can even speak this. Missouri.
Dude, that game, man. Good lord, I'm
I'm like,
actually glad I missed that game.
oh God, you would have been hot. I didn't go to it, but watching it, I'm like, really?
I mean, man, like I was coaching basketball that day. Man, I was like, all right, we got this. We got this. It's gonna be tough, but we got it. We're like, it's 7-7, and I'm like, all right. I see Joe, lay that deep pass into Thornton. I'm like, okay, 7-7. I'll take that all day long. All day long. That was the only time we scored that game. Thank you very much. And yeah, there wasn't much to cheer about from there on. Like just I was glad
Nothing.
I was at the gym.
Nothing, man. It was. I felt bad for the kids, man, because I'm like, Coach, y'all got to change this up. Like, I don't. What pisses me off about when we're losing, we don't change. Like
Yeah.
we continue to do the exact same thing, thinking it's gonna work. I'm like, yeah, we gotta switch it up. Like either go hurry up like you've been doing to keep them on pace, or do a total different offense.
Yeah.
Like
You got to change something up. It's like, well, it's kind of like they always say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and thinking you're going to get a different result. Man, it was just like that's one knock I've got on Hype. I almost feel like he's almost too damn stubborn sometimes.
he is, and I truly think this is why I don't think we were able to change a lot last year. Um, everybody thought that our offensive line was going to be elite last year.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback didn't get sacked that many times. Well, we got a quarterback that can run for his life.
Right.
That's different. I think last year our O line did enough to win ball games, but they didn't do enough to complete ball games.
That's true. I would agree with that.
We didn't have a O line that could withstand a chance for our receivers to get open because they can't get off the line of scrimmage.
Sure.
that kind of hurt us too. I mean, I our receivers truly what killed us last year. No doubt about that.
I would agree with that.
I watched cut ups and watched videos of them, and I'm like, God, I didn't realize they was getting their butt beat that bad.
They were either getting beat or they were smoking somebody and dropping the ball. There was no in between. The
And I
only
think,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
a lot of people were giving, Joe a lot of hell. I mean, I understand that, they had to overthrow Joe stuck in their head. But there was a lot of times that these guys could have made a play on these balls, and you even hell, go watch Peyton Manning when he was at Tennessee. Go look at some of the ducks he threw.
Oh yeah.
But guess who helped him out? His
and those guys.
His receivers.
Yes.
That's every team you have. Your receivers got to help you out. Every sport, somebody got to help you out.
Absolutely, man. Well, that's like I mean, I looked okay, so you go back, Squirrel was probably our most consistent guy last year, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Ramel Keaton, that was the guy. I thought him and Caleb Webb. Caleb Webb played pretty good last year.
Yep, he did.
Keaton though, man, he was like he would make if he was wide open. Oh, you might as well forget it. It's dropped. But if he's got to tightrope that sideline, get both feet in, one hand it, snag it, by God, you might as well. It's a first down. It's a catch. He would make the simple ones look impossible, and the impossible ones look simple.
And that's the part I didn't get, man. I'm like, guys, how are you doing this? I'm like, you catching like uncatchable balls and making it look easy. But then when you get like something like in your chest or on your hand, you drop it.
Yeah. What do you do? It's like
this year is make or break with us with the receivers, man. I think the receivers and the defensive tackles has to be the top priority this year.
I will agree with that. And to go along with your wide receiver comment, Nico's got to be Nico.
See,
I don't think we got anything to worry about with Nico.
I'm not worrying about the quarterback position, man. I've never been worried about the quarterback position. The quarterback position is the most cared about position on the field when it comes to coaching. They got the best coaching. They got to make sure you're ready before they put you on the field. I've never had an issue with the quarterback. I didn't even have an issue with JG.
That kid, dude, I'll tell you what, he would frustrate the hell out of me. But he was tough, and he made the best of what he had. What else can you say about him?
When you have had 4 different coaches, 4 different offensive coordinators, and all that stuff, and you're able to be even 50% successful, wow.
He was, dude. That he didn't get a fair. That if there was one athlete over, at least I'm 34. Let's say 20 years that I have watched Tennessee football that did not get a fair shake, that would be my pick.
I'm 100% agreeing with you there, man.
Like he did not. I mean, God love him because he and like physically, that kid had it. Physically, he was gifted. Mentally,
like if he had a quarterback coach that, let's just say, like for instance, you remember the year before Joe Burrow won the Heisman?
Yes.
Joe Burrow was LSU's JG.
Yeah.
That's how bad they talked about him.
Oh, yeah.
But then they went and got a passing coach to come in, change the whole offense, and figured out what was wrong with the guys. Because these guys were talented. We had a lot of guys that JG could have used.
Yeah.
A lot of talent on offense back then. I think it was more coaching than anything. I mean, we didn't do anything to help him be successful. Didn't use his strengths.
I would absolutely agree with that. The
No,
only thing I would argue with that, though, is I don't think it was Jim Chaney that was the problem. I think it was Pruitt.
yes.
So, well, man, it's that's a whole different ball of wax for us to have on a whole other episode, buddy, because we would have plenty of time to talk about it.
Yeah, because gosh, that's why I said I didn't like the Alabama hire.
I don't think any of us did. Now,
I'd have rather had somebody from Kent State for anything. Hey, let's go get North Dakota State coach.
hey, there you go, man. Next Urban Meyer. Never do know. So, a couple more things let's touch on right quick, and we'll wrap it up for the night, man. We did get an interior offensive lineman commitment this week. We got a new one today too. 4-star edge rusher. His name escapes me at the moment, but that was a good one. Anthony Cade Agimura. That was our interior offensive lineman this week. He's coming in next year. Vols basketball gets a home and home with Louisville for 2024, 2025. This is the one I wanted to say for last, though. Hype, Willie Galt, Larry Severs, and Big John on the 2025 College Football Hall of Fame ballot.
Wow. Yeah, that should be automatic. They should have been in.
Right?
Should have been in. Like who I still want to know who votes for these things, man. Like these guys should have been in like 10 years ago.
Hey, dude, I ain't disagreeing with you on that at all.
Big John.
Big John, son.
Man. See, come on. These guys, you're talking about, these are like super legends, man.
Man, listen. I will watch that guy get ready to go on the field for Jacksonville all day, every day. Watching him get smacked across the face, I'm like, what?
And see, like here, and I'll tell you this, like with Big John, man. I'll give you this here. So, Big John played behind me.
Mm-hmm.
About 3 more positions behind me.
Sure.
Even behind walk-ons. That's how deep we were back then.
Oh, yeah, man.
But I remember every day in practice, he was always behind me, and I would look back, look up, and like, man, oh my God. I said, man, if you ever figure this position out, you're gonna hurt somebody. You're gonna hurt somebody. It's like if you figure out how to get your pad leverage down, use your hands, next year you have 12 sacks. Easy. And of course, he had 12 sacks.
Good. You called it, brother. Absolutely.
He was a freakish athlete, man, and playing the defensive tackle position, being that big, that strong, that fast, that agile. It was just unheard of, and
yeah.
And he get to the pros and he does the same thing. I mean, you didn't hear the stats like anything, but if you go watch what he did, wow.
Well, it's different level of competition up there too. I mean, not whole like not head and shoulders, but I mean it's a different level of competition, different level of physicality there, and still every one of you guys that ever went pro, shoot, even if it didn't, I mean, everybody's proud of you. So, buddy, unless you got anything else, my man, I think we're going to wrap it up. What do you think?
Hey, let's wrap it up, man.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll end this one how we usually do with Go Vols, and man, I'm glad to have you part of us.
Hey, I'm glad to be part of it, man.
So, we'll put a bow on this one and Go Vols.
Yes, sir.